Hey everybody, Nick Espinoza, your chief security fanatic here, and today we've got to talk about Facebook, aka Meta, because their $1.3 billion fine they just got is an absolute joke. Now, if you didn't know, Facebook's parent company Meta was hit with a record $1.3 billion, that's 1.2 billion euros, because this is coming out of Europe. They were hit with this fine this past Monday by the European Union, which demanded that Facebook stop transferring their user data, meaning EU citizen user data, to the United States. Now, the European Data Protection Board, or EDBP, found that Meta made, quote, very serious, end quote, infringements concerning transfers, quote, that are systematic, repetitive, and continuous, end quote. And that is according to their chairwoman, Andrea Jelinek, talking in a statement after announcing that fine. Now, the fine issued by the Irish Data Protection Authority to Meta's platform in Ireland, which is known as Meta Platform Ireland Unlimited, and this is after an inquiry into Facebook. It's the largest GDPR, or General Data Protection Regulation, fine ever, according to the EDBP. Now, Facebook basically is going to have to change some practices here in Europe, but they're going to keep doing whatever they do with the rest of the world. Also, that $1.3 billion fine, or 1.2 billion euros, is an absolute farce. That's a slap on the wrist. Now, literally, and I did my homework so you don't have to, 1 month ago on April 26th, every news outlet was basically reporting that Meta shares jumped 12% in extended trading that Wednesday after the company reported an unexpected increase in sales for the first quarter and issued better than expected guidance for the current period, basically wiping out all of the debt that Mark Zuckerberg created with his now failed, Metaverse, et cetera, et cetera. And I did a video on that back then because interestingly enough, who bailed him out? Chinese corporations, and Facebook isn't even allowed to operate their social media platform in China. So you can do the math on that. Now, Meta's first quarter sales rose 3% as well, from $27.91 billion a year earlier, after 3 straight periods of revenue decline. Again, that is due to the metaverse. Now, in the second quarter, Facebook's parent Meta expected revenues between $29.5 billion and $32 billion, while analysts were expecting sales of about $29.5 billion, according to industry insiders, analysts, all that kind of stuff. So $1.3 billion isn't looking so hot. Now, if you didn't know, under GDPR, the maximum possible fine is 4% of global annual turnover for most egregious breaches. Now, this is the most egregious breach that they've ever had, but that's 1.3 billion. And let's put that into perspective, because Meta Platform's revenue for 12 months ending March 31st of this year was $117 billion, 0.346. So $117.346 billion was basically their profit for essentially the last 12 months at the end of March 31st. Now, this means that Meta could have been fined almost $4.7 billion as opposed to 1.3. And if they were fined for $4.7 billion, they would be left with a paltry $112.65 billion. It's the cost of doing business for them. So how about the next fine? Maybe they can't actually operate in the European Union's economic area. Let's try that. How about that? And please like, share, follow me here on Facebook and Twitter, where it's an absolute just shit show. And please feel free to subscribe to me on YouTube as well, which probably isn't better, but here we are. And as always, stay safe, stay online, and please attempt to stay private. Thanks, guys.